you give affection to will be the voice that you will hear and you will obey. Their own voice, not start with the devil, their own voice can be camouflaged by God's voice, which means it's not God, it's their voice. They have said so much. The only voice they hear, that's why God taught me, being an introvert, I had nobody in my life. I had my wife and different ones, but when it's all said and done, at the end of the day, I listen more to me than I listen to someone else. So I had to make a decision. Would I allow the Lord to use my job or my situations and what I was going, because there were some things I was going through on my job that was just bad, but it was good for me. That I might be afflicted, that I might learn His word. But when I was going through, I didn't see that. I didn't want to read that. Psalms 119, 71, 72. I skip over that. Y'all didn't cherry pick through the word? And cherry picked and jumped over somewhere and said, right there, God will get you again. Boom! Right in your face. You can't get away from you to save your life. Because He loves you just that much. Have you ever been hounded by the Holy Spirit in the Word? Yes. I mean hounded. Won't let you go. Won't let you rest. You can't even sleep. The devil, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. I'm going to sleep because the Bible say He gives unto His dear ones sweet rest, and rest will come because God rebuked your rest. Because you're resting in yourself rather than resting in Him. And not only that, you are diseased, and now you're calling others to be diseased. The word is called disease, which means to be diseased. Out of appointment, which we call disappointment. Until you know your appointment, you will always stay disappointed. The wilderness is a place of discovery. It helps us to become people of vision. We begin to have our vision straightened and aligned and adjusted. Because sometimes we just don't see straight. I'm due to go to my eye doctor, optometrist soon this year, my yearly annual checkup. And as you know, many of you know, I wear contacts. I don't wear glasses. I do wear glasses, but I don't wear them all the time. But I have to have corrective lenses. I have to have something to correct my sight. I dare not drive without them. Don't tell me to take them out and take you somewhere. That ain't happening. No. I wouldn't. It's very real, very rare. Even in my own house, as much as I know my house, I will not go. I'll try not to go downstairs without either put my glasses on, popping my contacts back in my eyes. Because I've learned over time, as I grow older, thank God for the last 5 years, my vision has not gotten worse. That's God. My doctor looked at me and said, because of diabetes, and I'm borderline diabetic and all that. He said, Deontia, I don't understand. He said, every time you come back, he said, your sight hasn't worsened. And you have a degenerative disease. Because of how my cornea is shaped. It's stretched. And he said, whatever leafy greens you're eating, whatever you're doing, please keep doing it. He said, I'm happy. He told me, I'm happy about this. He said, it hasn't gotten better, but it hasn't gotten worse. You're still seeing what you were seeing 5 years ago. Sometimes the Lord will leave you in a place of appreciated sight. That when you learn to appreciate what you have, He can lengthen. He can enlarge. It's because you know from whence it comes. Oh yeah, it has come. One more note, we get ready to go. Are y'all all right? Y'all breathing? All right. Now let's deal with some of the. We'll finish this next week. Let's deal with a couple of the distractions of the devil. As you read this, let's go to the second verse. And here it begins. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights after he was what? Hungry. He didn't say he was thirsty. He said he was hungry. Because everything he did, he had to do it as a man under the power of the Holy Spirit. You can fast only by water only and live. But you can't fast without water and without food. You will die. Jesus fasted food. It didn't say he was thirsty. It said he was hungry. He was giving us a model. If you want to, you can. But don't do it unless you're dead. Because some of us can't fast one day. Some can't fast a half a day. They start the first couple hours of fasting. I need to eat my head. I think my sugar done dropped. They ain't gonna die here. My sugar. Mother Lee, you hear me? They sugar done dropped. They ain't gonna die back. I need to eat something. Give me a donut, baby. It's this hour. It's only been an hour. And that's another thing. The distraction is lack of discipline. And when you don't have no discipline, you do whatever you want to do. You don't care. You say, well, the Lord knows my heart. That's most everybody, every Christian is a cop-out. The Lord knows my heart. You don't have no discipline in the first. Number 3, verse 3, excuse me. Now when the tempter came, notice what he did. Strategically, at the right time, he came to Jesus when he was what? Hungry. Not just hungry, he was weak. Yes. He had already been feasting on the word of his Father. Yeah. Come on. Amen. Now he's going to show you how you get rid of these demonic distractions. Oh, y'all ready? I'll just give you 5 minutes. Now when the tempter came to him, he said, he's challenging what his father already told him in Matthew the 3rd chapter. This is my beloved son. Affirmation strengthens your soul. That's why I keep telling y'all, beloved, beloved. That's affirming you. Because some of you come from households and places you've never told your love. Come on. Beloved, beloved, beloved. Not you trifling church, you trifling saints, you this and you that. I am not going to be one of them pastors beats up God's people. You're beloved. God help me if I start beating sheep. And God help you. You start abusing the shepherd. Yeah, let's balance this thing out. If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread. One of the first distractions with the Satan will use is to get you to question your identity. Please write it down. And if he gets you to question your identity, he will get you to misuse your power. Because this will be a misuse of his power. Even though he had a right to do it, he was hungry. Because his answer gives light to vision and revelation. Let's go to the next verse. But he answered and said, it is written, Deuteronomy 8:3. He quoted all that for the devil. That's why the devil hates the word. He hates it. Even that would show a baby Christian can take the word and slap the devil around. He answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone. Burger King, Arby's, Subway, whatever your preference is, saints, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. Number 5. Then, that didn't work. Those 3 places, the pride of life, lust of the flesh, and all that, those 3 is what he attacked him with. He doesn't change that. That strategy has not changed. That's been his strategy forever. What appeals to you? Well, remember the Bible says she saw that the tree was good and pleasant. She looked at it. Then it became lustful. And the pride of life is to have, to be like God. Pride of life. To be number one, to be on top, to be the top dog. Even the number one, he's number 2. Be a good number two if you're number one. I said, if you're not a number one, be a good number two. Somebody has to lead. I said, somebody has to lead. You can't two dancers leading. They be there all day long. She's right with the helper. You ever walk somewhere, somebody comes this way, and y'all get, you try to figure out where they want to go. And they smile, you smile, and somebody will stop and let the other one pass. That's what we're doing right now in the spirit. Many times we just trying to figure out where the other one's going to go, and the other one wants to lead. Too much responsibility in leading. Benefits of it. Like, in other words, we want promise without process. Then the devil took him up into